Hi there.
Hi there.
Welcome back to Mentor and the Sprout. It's been a little bit since we got together and talked about your dungeon run.
It's been a little bit, long bit.
It's been a long bit. So how much do you remember?
Other than life taking over the, being able to do the things and the stuff. I remember a, urn and things coming out of the urn and throwing it. I remember the dungeon run in as much as the really nice people that we got to play with. And,
Well, it turns out I have a recap prepared for you.
Excellent.
So we can watch the recap together.
Okay.
If you have any questions during there, feel free to do so. But remember, this is your journey.
Okay.
Through Final Fantasy XIV.
Yes.
Okay. So, are you ready?
I'm ready.
All right. Last time on the Mentor and the Sprout.
All hail the Sultana! Your Grace.
Raubon? Honored guests, I give you our champion! And with that, I bid you enjoy the feast.
There's a lot of cuts going on in there. I did just try to be as brief
Not
as
to
possible.
spoil your appetite, but Uldar is hardly so bountiful as this meal would have you believe. While we gorge ourselves, children starve in the streets. Beneath her mask of stately serenity, she is aghast at the plight of her subjects. But there will be no hope for the masses until the crown is restored to power. I am truly grateful for all you have done for Uldar, but there is so much more to do. That light, what is it? Tell me true, have you been troubled by strange dreams of late? Visions of the crystal? Mayhap you put them down to an excess of ether? Yes, you are like they were. Allow me to explain. Before you came to Eorzea, there were others like you who fought the Primals. Though they were not of this land, when the Garlean Empire threatened the realm, they helped bring together the three grand companies. And they stood with us at Cartano, that fateful day 5 years ago. The day we lost them. And in our mind's eye, their faces are naught but silhouettes amid a blinding glare. It is for this reason that we have come to call them the Warriors of Light. When I look at you, I cannot help but think of them, and of what you might achieve.
That again. Do all the Warriors of Light have a cleavage light?
Have a what?
A cleavage light. It lights up right here. The heart's over here.
We like to call it the
Right
bosom.
here. The bosom light. Okay.
Bosom light.
Bosom light.
Yes.
I remember this.
Flames to the fore!
The left flank buckles. Divert the barracudas.
The yellow serpents are in need of succor. Pray, send the white wolves to their aid. We are being watched.
Rider! This is Raging Bull. What news?
We're surrounded by a blaze. There is no way out. God preserve, what is that thing?
What's going on? Speak to me!
God damn it! We cannot hold much longer.
Mad Snake! Mad Snake! Answer me!
I want a cool nickname like Mad Snake.
Damn it! Damn it all to the seventh hell!
Cue the melodrama.
Admiral, General, we can do no
We're just
more.
getting started.
We must give the order to withdraw. The outcome of this battle was long since decided. Better to retreat now than risk a massacre. This dark, stifling presence. Who or what? We go to take our place beside Archon Louisoix. To your positions.
Kasbamul, Soginin Moise Tonzul. Logalo, Asawad Deken Bet Mubut. Imaratwe, Kiskatoga Hats Wadadons. Sisnigen, Fistun the only Lamrai Sadai Dawn.
How you feeling, Pesiphone?
Yeah, it's not a voice cutscene, so I had to use your voice.
They said you fainted in the middle of one of the general's stories. I had to have you carried back to the hourglass. For I forget, the general left a message for you. Said that when you're feeling up to it, you should come and see him at the Hall of Flames.
I like my voice.
Probably wants to finish the story he was telling you when you fell asleep.
I prepared these letters for my counterparts in the Eorzean Alliance.
This is also not a voice cutscene, so I had to use my voice. I am not a voice actor.
And I want to have you bear my words to them as my personal envoy. Why
I would
you?
like-
Because your deeds mark out as the nearest thing I have to a warrior of light. I can think of none more worthy of the role. The question is, will you accept it? Then it is agreed. You will journey to Renadia and Limsa Laminsa as my official representative.
100% totally safe. I tell you to buckle up, but wear those seatbelts.
A blighted realm, riddled with false gods. Yet, it must be saved. Only Garlean rule can bring order to Eorzea. It falls to us to deliver the misguided masses from their ignorance.
We are of one mind, Lord Van Balthar.
What if these guys all feel like the bad guys on Mighty Morphin Power Rangers?
Yeah.
Hey, is the Legatus really planning to take another tilt at Eorzea?
Hey? What hole have you been hiding in? We're in the midst of preparing for a new campaign, and a huge one at that.
Just in my hidey hole.
I sense you harbor certain doubts over the wisdom of the Legatus' plan.
My lord!
Please, call me Nero. Tell me, where were you born?
Alamigo, my lord.
Silence. Your denials will not change your fate. I assure you, Frumentarium
What's he
sees
denying?
It was an odd cut.
Oh.
It was an odd cut. And it's a reference to... It's a reference to something in the... that started in the previous game.
Okay.
In the previous edition of 14.
Clean up this
Yeah, one of the
mess.
songs.
And do not miss any, or I shall be most displeased.
I don't like it.
At once, my lord.
Garland, soon you will be made to know the true power of Magitech.
Not a very nice guy. It sounds so Zelda-y.
That's for the first Final Fantasy.
Everything sounded like Zelda. That
Enter. I bid you welcome. I am Melvib Blufisvin, Admiral of Limso Lominsa, and Commander of the Maelstrom.
Okay, how do you spell her
Now,
name?
what news from
How do you spell her
Thanalan?
name?
I don't know.
I'm very proud of how cheesy this is.
To be fair, I'm also watching it while blind. I decided I didn't want to wear glasses.
So you are the Ul'dan envoy. On behalf of our fair nation, I bid you welcome. Please. Allow me to introduce myself. I am Khan Senna, Elder Seedseer of Britannia, and leader of the Order of the Twin Adder, our nation's grand company. I understand you bear a message from the Flame General.
And she always feels super Linda F to me. Linda. Yeah.
Well, she's very popular.
Popular. Who gotta be? Okay, I'm not a singer.
No. There is some of this game that is a singer, but there's lots of singers in this game, actually. Just your first dungeon. This is the flyby.
I do recall this.
Went through it, and then we went through it, and then here's your first boss.
So he made puddle thingies. Right?
Grouchy on this dude just because he's boss one.
Oh, my face was.
I'll straight from our dungeon state.
It says duty.
Never say that a lot. And you teleport over there. We'll get a lot of mileage on
It's like the PowerPoints I used to make when I first started teaching that would like make the little lines to make things move across the PowerPoint.
Oh,
I thought I was the coolest, smartest person. And that was really high technology then. We're old.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna get a lot of mileage out of that little bit. I have a couple plans for that.
It's perfect. Oh, there's the pedals. There's pedals. That one has pedals.
Yes, this one has mechanics. You have to do things.
Then step in the pedals. That was like a cringy melting sound that feels like slime going into the carpet. And slime going into the carpet at home makes me want to cry. My children are not allowed to have slime.
No, we don't like slime.
Dude.
The third dungeon. Back to
Back. It's purple. I really kind of like the color purple. He said roar. Out of the puddle. Lots of puddles. Hey, look, guys, I didn't stop.
Epilogue after the dungeon.
Oh yeah, that was a really bad guy. He was like touching her. Shouldn't have been doing that.
He's a bad dude. Like the henchman.
I don't like people who do normal touches. Die.
I ain't getting paid enough for this. Hey, where the hell do you think you're going?
Thank ye, kind adventurer. Thank ye thrice over. And then I passed. My passing out is as bad as 11.
Dodo tenderloins. Get your Dodo tenderloins. Guaranteed cheapest in Thailand.
I recognize that voice.
Now you should.
Thank you for your custom, madam. Please come again. All's well that ends well. Meet again. Pray, do not mistake for my intent, for it is always honorable. But I have been watching you ever since you've departed Ulda. You played the part of the envoy to perfection, confident as a woman on a diplomatic mission should be, yet unfairly courteous to your betters. When your travels led to the midst of danger, you faced it without so much as a flinch. You, my lady, are quite a marvel, and I confess for being quite taken with you.
Isn't cute.
But my lavish praise continues. First of all, I was struck by your readiness to aid those in need, even when words were all the reward you could expect to receive. Such selflessness is a rare thing in this day and age.
You were struck by me being cute.
Leads me to conclude that you are indeed the one who I have been looking for, an adventurer possessed of a very rare set of qualities. To be sure, your rescue of that damsel in distress was more of a happy accident. But rescue her you did, and that's what matters in the end. I feel I should mention at this point that I also harbor a burning interest in that certain talent of yours. I speak of your visions. You have been experiencing visions, have you not?
Mm-hmm.
Well, it just so happens I know a woman who shares your talent, and we can help you understand it. She and I belong to the same organization, and we should both be delighted beyond words if you would agree to join our cause. Naturally, there are benefits for being part of such a collective. For one, we should be glad to assist you in realizing your potential as an adventurer. You need not to give us your answer now. Think upon it, and if you feel moved to help us, as I pray you shall, speak with Momodoi, the ever-loving and youthful mistress of the quicksand. Tell her the scions of the seventh dawn have found their woman, and she will tell you where to find us.
So that was your last adventure.
Yes.
There's a lot that went down in that, it was like about 6 hours of gameplay. I like crushed down into like 20-minute, of playing the hits, right?
I survived the adventure, and I still had a good hair day in the end.
Well, nearly everyone has a good hair day in Final Fantasy, so the hair is pretty awesome. In fact, later on, like your next adventure, you're going to be getting new hairstyles.
Oh, yeah.
Well, so we'll go over that later. But so let's talk about what happened there. So we started off by getting a little tour, going to all the cities, or what they call city-states.
Okay.
All right. And you met their leaders.
Yeah.
Okay. You got Rabon, big dude, muscles.
Mm-hmm.
Then you got
and the leather wrap.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. The leather armor.
Yeah.
Very protective.
Yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely.
You have Merweb. Pirate.
Arr!
Yes. She's very cool. Yeah. And then there's a Sinikana, the one in the forest town.
Okay.
So, in your city names, you have Ulda, that's where you started.
Mm-hmm.
That's like the desert-like area. And then you have Limsa, which is that like oceany town.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have Grenadia, where the forest city.
Okay.
All right. So those are your main cities.
Yeah.
Okay. Then you also got the flashback, or not flashback, but a cutscene showing the bad guys.
Yes.
All right. And we went over through. Well, you saw some pictures. I showed you that picture of the guy. He had the little earrings on his horns.
Yes.
All right. And you saw he has a little crew that he hangs with.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And then, and they had to make sure that they're the bad guys
by them killing a guy.
Yeah, just randomly. It's like yeah. Now, there was reasons for him to get off, but that was in the previous game of the original release of Final Fantasy 14, the one that got shut down.
I didn't play that.
No, you should. It's not.
I shouldn't play it.
Well, you can't play it anymore. But back, it was a bad. It was. They killed the game because it was bad and it was a mercy killing, but then they respected what happened because there were some good things that happened, story-wise. They respected it and they continued on and turned it into this great game that we have today.
Okay.
There's also some flashbacks to the dudes in the hoods, and in that cutscene they did speak in evil speak. You know, rando evil.
I was getting closer to the screen to be able to read the subtitles.
They only do that a couple of times throughout. Eventually, they'll speak. They'll
Not
speak
evil
English.
speak.
Not evil speak. Yeah. Then there's some dungeon stuff, and we're gonna go over some dungeon things
Okay.
in a little bit. But you got your flashback headaches.
Yeah.
But then it was recognized that is a good thing.
Good thing.
So we'll so that
It makes
make them
me
up.
special.
It does make you special. It's one of your superpowers.
I like superpowers.
Mm-hmm. And you were introduced to the Scions of the Seventh Dawn.
Scions of the Seventh Dawn. That's going to be the collective that they want me to join, right?
Yes.
Okay.
So you'll be with the group. That's the in-crowd.
With the group and the guy who thinks I'm cute, who's also really cute.
Yes, but there's lots of cute people there. So, but the thing with Final Fantasy, and especially Final Fantasy 14, it's everyone's pretty hot.
I'm the hottest.
Yeah, so that's how it works. So you introduced to the multiples of bad guys, multiples of good guys, and you'll have some.
And I'm gonna fight the bad guys, right?
Eventually, yes. And then good guys for bad guys, bad guys for good guys. You know, it's a big quagmire of good guys, bad guys.
I like that word, quagmire.
Okay. So, dungeons. You had 3 of them, back to back to back. That is 3. Yes.
Un, deux, trois.
And that's still 3. So, I mean,
Eins, zwei, drei.
Ishni-san.
Yeah.
Okay. So 3 dungeons, back to back to back. That normally doesn't happen in this game. This is pretty much the introduction to getting you play with people. So part of the dungeon in this game is that you can do the dungeons with a party of NPCs, computer controlled guys go through the dungeon with you, and then you don't need to group up. I hope that I find this game to be more fun with people. And
I like people.
People is good, so we're gonna try to play this with people. We'll try to play it with you guys actually.
I like people.
But we did
Reminder of why I like people. Okay, this has nothing to do with the game. All right, just FYI, don't cut it. A reminder of why I prefer people. Totally tried to check out at Giant tonight to get my groceries, and that stupid computer cut me off like 7 times. Put your thing on the what the heck is it called?
On the scanner?
Yeah. No. The scale.
The scale?
Make sure you add your things to the scale. Make sure you didn't take the things off the scale. Like, the stupid scale has everything that it needs. Okay. So I prefer people.
Yes. And
the computer's name is now Brenda.
Brenda?
By the way.
Brenda is the self-checkout machine?
Brenda is the self-checkout machine. Just so you guys know, Brenda is the self-checkout machine.
Okay.
All right. Moving on.
No.
Play dungeons with people.
Dungeons with people, yeah. So back to back dungeons doesn't happen at all. Normally they try to break things up.
Okay.
And normally they introduce dungeons for story purposes to to push the plot along, or there may be like an optional dungeon that's just out there to provide additional things to do.
Okay.
Okay. But one of the things that
do you get like extra points for doing dungeons though?
Well, there's experience.
Yeah, like experience points.
Experience points, loot.
Okay. Yeah.
And there's other things you get: gear, accommodations from other players, which is like people said you did good, and then that was just a way of saying that you were the MVP of the dungeon.
Okay.
Yeah, and you that's just a fun little thing to get. As a mentor, you have to get a ton of them, but don't worry about that. They'll come over time. So, in the dungeons, you one of the things in there is that there's common little markers in there. So you saw like don't stand in the stupid type stuff.
Yes.
Those are we like to call them telegraphs, and there's a lot of different things, and there's a lot of different types of them. So I have on here, and I'll put this We'll show create some of these
We'll
out here.
zoom it in.
I'll have the actual image on sure, so I'll put that on the screen. So we have this first round telegraph on here, and there could be multiples and they can overlap each other, but pretty much that is the standard one. That's the danger. Don't be there.
Don't stand in the danger zone. Yeah.
Okay.
Stay out of the puddles.
Occasionally the bad is a big cone.
Yep.
Again, don't be there.
Yep.
Sometimes they're not around. They're around a thing.
The puddles are extra puddly.
The puddles are extra puddly, and they'll sort of like explode. And sometimes you'll see that, but there won't be enough time to get out. So you might have to pick up the fact that that thing there is going to do a bad thing.
Puddle bombs.
Yeah. So, and there's they could be in different ways here. And then we also have this little red marker here, with little red marker around the person there.
That's telling me that's a bad guy.
That's telling you well, that's the bad guy, and he's about to do a big smack attack against the tank, which we like to call a tank buster.
Okay.
Normally, if you see that, you want to get away from the tank a little bit because there's sometimes a little bit of a splash around it, and if you're not the tank, you're probably gonna die.
Okay. The tank is called the tank for a reason.
The tank is called the tank.
Yeah.
Now, what's cool
Extra
about all of these little markers?
Yes.
Is the same markers will be reused almost throughout the entire game.
Okay.
So each dungeon that you do, each encounter you do, you'll learn maybe like one or two markers on there. I'll try to introduce those to you before the dungeon happens. And if you remember that, you can use that for the next dungeon and throughout the entire game.
Okay.
So it's a good exercise to do, and it's a nice way of like you can walk into a fight without knowing anything about it, but since this game follows the rules for the most part, you will understand just by the mechanics just by watching the screen.
Okay.
So just keep that in mind as you're playing. All right, so now let's go into our next segment here, our no context pictures. No context pictures. So again, you've never seen these pictures. I'm not going to give you any context. I just want to have your opinions on whatever are the pictures that I have in here for you.
Okay. I'm ready.
Let's do this one first. So we have this person right here.
Okay.
So what do you think? What's your opinions solely based on this picture? We're giving no context.
I would take her as a warrior.
Okay.
I would believe that she is of high seniority, possibly.
Okay.
And that she is a leader.
Okay.
I would also totally date this chick.
Okay, dateable. Okay.
Very dateable. I find it interesting that her hair literally has like a arrowhead in it. So I'm kind of curious as to whether she uses like a bow and arrow as a weapon.
Okay.
Just trying to notice detail in here.
Okay. All right. Well, this is a character you haven't met yet.
So I don't recognize her.
No. You don't recognize her. You haven't seen her yet in the game. She hasn't been appeared yet, but you will soon.
Okay.
But that's this. I'm going to give you some thoughts here on this character.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes.
Next one is.
Was I anywhere near the right road, or am I just gonna wait and see?
I just hit my microphone because I'm awesome.
Am I anywhere near the right road, or am I just gonna wait and see?
Wait and see, but there are some things that you said that are very, very close.
Okay.
All right. So here's our next one.
I've met her.
All right.
She's a pirate.
Mm-hmm. She's a pirate?
Yeah.
What do you think?
I mean, she's an androgynous pirate.
Mm-hmm.
She's definitely really high up, like is I want to use the word general, but I forget actually the label that they gave her.
Admiral.
Admiral. See, it wasn't far. It really wasn't far. So she's very high up, military type person. I kind of feel like there's gonna be a twist where she's not really a good guy or good girl, or hence androgynous. But I feel like there's gonna be a bit of a twist where she's not all that good.
Okay.
I don't know if that's actually the case, but it just something about her.
Okay. All right. We do know her name though, right?
Yes.
Merle Webb. Merle. M.
Merle.
And then we have this one.
She's a queen.
Queen. Okay.
I think.
All
I'm
right.
questioning myself. I'm very much questioning myself. She was with like that big posse at the beginning, and she's the one I said reminds me of like Linda the Witch. Other than that, and I don't think that she's really gonna end up being a good guy either in the end.
Okay.
I really don't.
What makes you say that?
Like watching her with the group when they were, when I had the flashback of the people who all have the visions, right?
Okay, the big battle there with
The big battle, yeah, at the melodramatic.
Oh, okay. The
No.
Battle of Cartano, but yeah, that's a thing.
She had just a vibe to her when she was amongst those people that I saw the leadership, but it also had, I don't know, like a negative vibe.
Okay.
That makes sense.
Oh, it makes sense.
I don't know.
Right.
Because this is the whole point of no context.
Right.
But yeah, I have met her. And she has given me accolades. There's that.
There you go. Yep. All the so far, all of the city-state people, they all dig you.
Yeah. Because I'm hot. It's
Okay.
the purple.
The purple. Okay.
Purple. And the Kit Kat ears.
Last one I have here for no context. Last no context.
That's no context.
This guy.
Yeah.
What?
That guy is a bad guy.
He's a bad guy.
And it makes me mad that he's a bad guy because he looks really good in those red pants. But he is. He's a really bad guy. He likes to kill people, and I think I'm going to end up fighting him a lot.
Okay. You're gonna fight him?
Yeah.
Okay.
And he's not going to kill me.
He's not gonna kill you?
No.
No? Okay.
And if he does, I'll come back to life because it's a game.
Just try again.
Let's try again.
What do you think of his forehead there?
It feels like he has like a third eye.
A third eye?
Yeah. So third eye typically means like you have visions. And we've seen a lot with the visions and the bosom light. So we've seen a lot with different kinds of visions, and I feel like it's similar to exactly that, a third eye, like a vision. So he might also see visions, but may take them in a different direction than the good guys would.
All right.
Because we all have different opinions on things.
We do. Well, and we know his name is Nero, right?
We do know his name is Nero. He is not a hero.
Nero's not a hero?
Nero's not a hero.
Nero's not a hero.
Nero is a zero.
Nero's a zero.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a strong claim.
It is a strong claim, but I really think Nero is a zero.
Okay. There we go. Well, that's what I have here for the no context pictures. The next thing I have for you. If you remember in our introductory episode, I said I'll be creating you a photo album.
Ooh, pictures. Oh, I'm so pretty. I'm so pretty. Oh, it's glaring. I'm so pretty.
So, as we go through your adventure,
yes,
we're going to be filling out this photo album, adding pictures of your journey to help remember the journey as you go through it, and so you have a physical representation of your Final Fantasy journey.
I'm excited. Look at me do my happy dance.
So, right now, you have it's my picture.
It's me.
There we go.
Persephone. Persephone's pretty. Okay.
And then we have the 3 pictures on there on the screen. I'm gonna put them on the screen. But no, these are the first 3 3 pictures of the journey that we have in there. One of your airship, one celebrating your first 3 dungeons.
Mm-hmm.
And then
the woman that I rescued.
We rescued and a good old picture of good old Thancred.
That's right. Yeah, right after the woman that I rescued.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And as we continue on and do more adventures, we'll have more pictures there to add to the album.
Excellent.
All right.
Excellent.
So
it's a fun surprise.
Our next gameplay.
Yes.
Our next gameplay
needs to happen soon.
Needs to happen soon.
We've had quite a bit of pause here. Yeah.
But this is what we're gonna do.
Yeah.
So you know that main story quest line that left on the cliffhanger of you're gonna meet the Signs of the Seventh Dawn?
Yes.
So guess what?
I'm gonna do it.
No, you're not. We're not gonna do that. Instead, we're gonna do other stuff. You have job quests to do. So you have your thaumaturge right now. Okay, so you're shooting fireballs, and ice and stuff, and lightning on occasion. All right, but remember, you had those little, all those brothers helping out and doing things, and they give you little quests to do. And there was this little guy who was a alchemist, but he wanted to be a mage, but they wouldn't let him.
They wouldn't let him be a mage.
So he found this urn.
So he became a cosmetologist.
No, alchemist. Potions.
I mean, a cosmetologist does alchemy.
We're going to get there. That's another quest. That's another quest. Well, you're getting ahead of me. Don't look at my notes.
I can't see them. I'm blind. See, my glasses are here.
So he found this little urn. He was promising power. Instead, he got possessed, and now there's shenanigans.
Yes, and I remembered the urn. That's one thing I really have remembered. It's stuck.
And every couple levels, you want to do your job quest because that unlocks more stuff, and eventually will unlock your big job. Eventually, a black mage. So we want to make sure we do these to make sure we get that unlocked.
I won't be a peach maze.
No.
Mage. I won't be a maze at all.
No. But we'll get there. I also want to introduce you to the housing zones.
Okay.
Because you can theoretically buy a house in this game. You can also get an apartment and other stuff. But I just want to show you the housing in this game because it is.
Can I get a yacht?
No. If a free company house can get an airship and a submarine, but you get a house and then you can decorate it. Or you can get a room in a free company house and you can decorate that.
Okay.
Or you can buy an apartment and decorate that.
Okay.
So I'll show that. So I'm going to show that to you as well.
Okay.
And I screw up this pronunciation because it's hard, the normal version, and then there's the Final Fantasy version, which is slightly harder. But the Athesesian, it's right there.
Aesthetician.
Aesthetician? Okay.
No, it's based on the word aesthetic.
Okay.
Aesthetic means to make things look nice.
Yes.
So that has something to do with that, yes?
Yes.
Okay.
This is the barbershop or the hairdresser.
I do English for a living.
Okay.
I do English.
You do English.
I do English.
I do English. Hey. No,
yeah.
This is so everything in this game.
It's 1 a.m.
it's 1 a.m. somewhere.
What a-
It's 1 a.m. somewhere.
Okay.
So this is everything in this game has a storyline, right?
Yes.
It's a story heavy game.
Yeah.
Including the person who does your hair.
Okay.
So we're gonna do that, and then that will unlock the ability for you to get haircuts and do some other cosmetic changes to your character.
Aesthetician.
Aesthetician?
I think I got that right.
Okay. Remember that everything in this game has ether, so it begins with an A in the beginning, so add an A to the beginning of it.
Ether does begin with an A.
A. Oh.
It goes along the same lines as pterodactyl.
Pterodactyl?
Yes.
We're also going to run and go get the ability to dye your equipment, so you can change the color of your gear as you get it.
Okay.
Okay.
That sounds kind of
You do have to get the gear. One of the things that is new in the game with the most recent expansion that came out is you now have two channel dye, so you have multiple things to dye on each piece of gear, which is so you can make some really cool combinations there.
Okay.
All right. So we'll show that to you. We'll unlock that system. And then we're going to also unlock the glamour system. Glamour system is pretty much I have this gear, but I want to make it look like that piece of gear.
Okay.
All right. So now you can get the stats of this, but look like that.
So we're legitimately just working on pretty in the next episode.
A lot of people do call this game Final Fashion.
Final Fashion.
Final Fashion.
FF.
Mm-hmm. And then we're going to end the next stream with a tour of the Gold Saucer.
The what?
The Gold Saucer. This is where I'm going to lose you because it's essentially the casino.
Yeah, okay.
It's a whole zone dedicated to minigames.
I don't like to gamble.
No?
No.
So,
kids, gambling's bad.
Unless you can't lose, which is what the Gold Saucer is. You really can't lose. You may not win as much. You really don't lose. But there's a lot of mini games in there. So you have like a little scratch-off ticket that you can do 3 a day.
Okay.
Once a week, they have a lottery that they do, and there's actually an in-game event where they actually spin the big wheels. And they actually have it's not just the numbers just show up. They actually have the drawing in the there. So we'll have that happens at 10 p.m. our time on Saturday night. So we'll have to make plans for that. But that's something cool we could do that you can check out. It is fun to watch and see everybody get together to watch it because it is fun to watch.
Okay.
There's also mini games such as like a little punch the bad guy. There's a little basketball game.
Wreck-It Ralph.
Type thing. And there's a claw game.
Okay. Did I get stuffed animal?
You can get minions.
I get minions.
Minions, which is like non-combat pets. Okay. And there's also other like little games.
Minion.
Hmm?
You have a minion.
I do on my backpack, but you don't know who that is.
No.
And there's also some chocobo racing.
Okay.
And there's also Lords of Vermilion, which I like it, but most people don't play it. And there's and lastly, there's Triple Triad, which is their card game.
Okay.
Oh, and there's also Mahjong, which is actually a very good Mahjong simulator.
Okay, I like Mahjong.
Okay. This is the 4-player Mahjong, not the solo American Mahjong. This is traditional Mahjong.
Okay.
You get your pawns and your other things, and I'm not good at it, so I can't explain it.
Okay, that's fine.
But it is there. But we're gonna go through that tour, and I think you're just gonna overall just have a good old time there.
Okay.
All right.
I'll play.
Okay, and that's what we'll do on our next stream.
Okay.
So, lastly, I just want to say thank you. Thank you for playing, and thank everyone there.
You.
Thank you guys. We hit a milestone. 50 of you, 50, hit, went down and hit that subscribe button without us telling you to, because we haven't been asking you. We haven't been doing the whole YouTuber saying like and subscribe. Well,
I'm gonna ask you. We would love you to like and subscribe, please.
That would be cool.
An extra thank you with cherries on top, and we'll get better at this as we go. As you know, we're pretty new.
But yeah, for the people who have been along on this journey so far, thank you. If this is your first one, welcome, and I hope we didn't waste your time.
Absolutely.
Next one of these that we do, we'll be playing, and we'll be going through what we just said there, the job quest, housing zones, and then we'll talk about that for a little bit, and then we'll get back to the main story.
Fantabulous.
All right, everyone. This is the Mentor and the Sprout. Thank you.
Thank you. Over and out.
Cheers.